Okay, I'm going to present the selected review answers for Algebra 2's Chapter 2 test. Everything is coming off page 127 in your book. I'm going to slide my book out of the way and do the work on line paper and graph paper in front of you. I'm most likely going to have this video come up in at least 2 segments, so if you need to go back and look at them later on your own, it's on my YouTube page, Nikki Petticord, and then it will be listed as Algebra 2 Chapter 2 review in this page with the numbers. I'm going to get started with 5 through 10. In problems 5 through 10, we have 2 different functions that we have to use to evaluate. In 5 through 10, f of x is defined as 2x minus 5, and then we have another function, g of x, and g of x is defined as the absolute value of negative 3x minus 1. Just to remind you, absolute value is the distance from 0 that a number is on a number line. In problem 5, we're looking to evaluate f of 3. f of 3, I'm going to go grab my f function. Where I see x, I'm going to put in a 3. And so f of 3 is 2 times 3 minus 5, or 6 minus 5. It's equal to 1. I could finish up and just clean this up and say f of 3 equals 1. When I put in 3 for x, I get 1 for the y value or the output. Number 6. I need to find f of 1 plus g of 2. So what this means then is I actually have to go do this in 2 parts. f of 1 is going to be 2 times 1 minus 5. That's going to be 2 minus 5. That gives me negative 3. f of 1 produces negative 3. I'm going to come back and use that in a moment. G of negative 2. G of 2, not negative 2. G of 2 would be the absolute value of negative 3 times 2 minus 1. That's going to give me the absolute value of negative 6 minus 1. That's the absolute value of negative 7. G of 2 is producing 7. How far from 0 on a number line is negative 7? It's 7 units. So then I have to go back. The question asked me to take f of 1 and add it up with g of 2. That would be equal to negative 3 plus 7. The answer to f of 1 plus g of 2 is 4. Number 7. So number 7 is looking for me to find g of 0. I'm going to go grab my g function. The absolute value of negative 3 times 0 minus 1. That's going to be the absolute value of 0 minus 1. The absolute value of negative 1 would be 1. G of 0 is equal to 1. Number 8, still using the same functions, but I'm going to slide my work up. G of 2 minus f of 0. Well, I already have g of 2. I did g of 2 up here. G of 2 is 7. 7 minus, I better go find out what f of 0 is. I'm going to come do this work over here. f of 0 equals 2 times 0 minus 5. That's going to give me 0 minus 5. That's going to give me negative 5. The answer is going to be 7 minus negative 5. 7 plus 5, that's 12. Number 9, that's a 12. Number 9. And how did I know g of 2? I had done the work already. Number 9, f of negative 1. I don't think I've done that. Minus g of 3. f of negative 1 minus g of 3. f of negative 1 is going to be f of negative 1 equals 2 times negative 1 minus 5. That's going to be negative 2 minus 5. F of negative 1 gives me negative 7. F of negative 1 is negative 7. I'll use that in a minute. G of 3. G of 3. Did not do that one yet. Absolute value of negative 3 times 3 minus 1. That's the absolute value of negative 9 minus 1. That's asking for the absolute value of negative 10. The absolute value of negative 10 is 10. G of 3 is 10. So f of negative 1 is negative 7 minus g of 3, which is 10. Negative 7 minus 10. The answer to number 9 is negative 17. And then last but not least in this group, number 10, 2 times g of negative 4. 2 times g of negative 4. I had a couple people in class ask me about this. What's that 2? I'm reading it the way that you want to think about it. 2 times g of negative 4. So let's go find g of negative 4. And then we'll double it. G of negative 4 is equal to the absolute value of negative 3 times negative 4 minus 1. G of negative 4 is going to be 12 minus 1 inside. Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. That's going to be the absolute value of 11. G of negative 4 would be equal to positive 11. So 2 times positive 11 is going to give me a final answer of 22. Double the result of G of negative 4.